Hi children, as you know, this is the third month of this academic year, but because of the present situation, we still continue our studies in home. Whatever be the situation, you have to study well, you concentrate on your work, study well. We already completed our first unit. Now let us start the next unit, motion. When we watch around the surrounding, when we watch the surrounding or when we observe the surrounding, we can see that some of the objects are moving but some others are at rest. How can we say that the objects are in motion or they are in rest? We consider a situation. A passenger is sitting in a moving bus. A passenger is sitting in a moving bus. With respect to bus, he is in rest. But with respect to road, he is in motion. Another situation. A crow is sitting on a cow grazing in the field. A crow sitting on a cow grazing in the field. With respect to the cow, the crow is at rest. But with respect to the field, the crow is on motion. So, in the two cases, we use an object to describe the state of rest or motion. In the first case, bus and road are the objects we used to describe the state of rest and state of motion. So, these objects or these bodies are called reference objects. Reference objects. Okay, then what are reference objects? The objects that are used to describe the state of rest or motion are called reference object. In the second example, cow and field are the reference objects because these two are we used to explain or we used to describe the state of rest and motion. Suppose a person, he is travelled to a person. We can draw the diagram. A person, he is travelled to the office. On the way there is a church. So we can say he travelled through the church road. Then he started from here. The length of this path is 600 meter up to church. Again he walked 400 meter. This is the way towards office. But in the evening he returned to the home in another way. Here there is a post office. So we can say he used the post office road. Here the length is 450 meter and here also 450 meter. So the length of the path he travelled towards office is 600 plus 400, 1000 meter. But he returned at that time the length of this path is 450 meter plus 450 meter. Here 900 meter. So this is the distance. Then what is meant by distance? Distance is the length of the path followed. Distance is the length of the path followed. In the morning time he followed 100 meter. In the evening when he returned to the home he followed 900 meter. So this is the distance. Distance is the length of the path followed by an object. But you listen, the actual length or the shortest distance between the home towards the office is only 800 meter. Only 800 meter. So the straight line distance between initial position to the final position is called displacement. Displacement. So what is meant by displacement? It is the distance between the initial position to the final position in a straight line, or it is a straight line distance between the initial position towards the final position. So when we describe displacement, there is a direction. It is having a direction. But when we talk about distance, no need to specify the direction. But it is always from initial position to the final position. So it has a direction. But in case of distance, no need to specify the direction. So now we studied about distance and displacement. Then what are the differences between these two? Listen about distance and displacement. Distance and displacement. We can say when we describe displacement, we have to specify the direction. So it is a vector quantity. Displacement is a vector quantity. Vector quantity means the physical quantity which has both magnitude and direction. The physical quantity which has both magnitude and direction, that physical quantities are called vector quantity. So displacement is a vector quantity. But the physical quantity which has only magnitude, no direction, which is described without specifying the direction, that is called a scalar quantity. A physical quantity which has a direction is a vector quantity, but a physical quantity, here no direction is specified, that is a scalar quantity. Distance is a scalar quantity, but displacement is a vector quantity. Another one, and the next difference is consider we throw a stone vertically upward. It reaches up to the height of about 5 meters. Then naturally it returns back. Again it travelled 5 meters. So the distance travelled by this stone is 5 meter plus 5 meter. Angotu by 5 meter, again it returns, again travelled 5 meters. So the total distance travelled is 10 meter. Distance travelled is equal to 10 meter. But in case of displacement, displacement is the distance between initial position to the final position. It travelled to upward. At that time the displacement is plus 5. Now it returns to the ground. So in the opposite direction it is minus 5. Minus 5 plus 5 cancel, it is 0. Net displacement, total displacement is equal to 0. There is no displacement. So we can say that distance is always a positive value. Distance is always positive. But displacement may be positive, negative or 0. It may be positive, negative or 0. Okay, so we studied about what is meant by distance and displacement. Next, about we consider a journey of a person from A to B. The journey of a person from A to B. Then A to C. He travelled through the point B. Consider a journey of a person from the point A to the point C through through the point B. Here it is 6 meter. A to B is 6 meter. B to C is 4 meter. For travelling to B, he uses 6 seconds. Then from B to C, he uses only 4 seconds. Okay. But the actual distance between A to C is only 8 meter. So we can say here distance travelled. Distance is equal to the person travel from A to C through the point B. ബിയിലൂടെയാണ് സിയിലെത്തിയത്. സോ ദ ഡിസ്റ്റൻസ് ഈസ് 6 meter plus 4 meter, total 10 meter. But the straight line distance between A to C is only 8 meter. That is displacement. Displacement is only 8 meter. So here this distance per unit time, he take 10 seconds to reach the point C. So 10 meter he traveled, distance is 10 meter, and the time taken, time for it is 10 seconds. Now this distance by time is equal to speed. Distance by time is equal to speed. So speed is the distance covered in unit time. Unit time il cover ചെയ്ത distance എത്രയാണ് അതാണ് speed എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. Then here displacement by time is equal to velocity. Now we studied the two new terms, speed and velocity. Speed is the distance by time, that is distance per unit time is called speed. But displacement by unit time is called velocity. Then how we can measure that? In this case, distance is equal to, we know, speed is equal. In this case, how we can calculate the speed of the object? Speed is equal to distance 10 meter divided by time taken 10 seconds. So the speed is equal to 1 meter per second. Speed of the object is 1 meter per second. So here listen, meter per second is the unit of speed, because meter is the unit of distance and the second is the unit of time. Therefore the unit of speed is meter per second. Next about velocity. Velocity is equal to displacement by time. Velocity is equal to displacement by time. Here the displacement is 10 meter divided by the time is 10 seconds. So it is 0.8 meter per second. So this is the velocity. Here also the same unit, meter per second, because the unit of displacement is meter and the unit of time is second. So the both speed and velocity are having same unit, meter per second. Once again, speed is the distance traveled in unit time and velocity is the displacement per unit time. So when we specify what are the differences between speed and velocity. So listen, we can say speed is equal to distance by time, but velocity is displacement by time. The next difference is speed is a scalar quantity. Speed is a scalar quantity, but velocity is a vector quantity. You know, vector quantity has both magnitude and direction. In case of velocity we use displacement. Displacement has direction, so actually we can say velocity is also having direction, so it is a vector quantity. But speed is a scalar quantity. There is no direction is specified. So in this class we studied about reference body. Then how we can say whether the body is in motion or in rest. If the position of the object changes with the reference object, then we can say the body is in motion. If the position of the object changes with the reference object. Reference object ne nokkumbom oru object inde position change cheyyukayanengil aa object motion laanennu parayam. But if the position of the object does not change with the reference object, we can say the object is in rest. ഒരു ഒബ്ജക്റ്റിൻ്റെ പൊസിഷൻ റെഫറൻസ് ഒബ്ജക്റ്റിനെ നോക്കുമ്പോൾ ചേഞ്ച് ചെയ്യുന്നില്ല എന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ പൊസിഷൻ അങ്ങനെ തന്നെ ഇരിക്കുകയാണ്, നോ ചേഞ്ച്. The crow sitting on a cow is on rest. With respect to cow, the crow is in rest. ആ പൊസിഷൻ ചേഞ്ച് ചെയ്യുന്നില്ല. So we studied about motion, rest, reference body, Then we studied about what is distance, displacement, both has the same unit meter. Then after we discussed about what is meant by speed and velocity, both have same unit meter per second. When we studied about what is meant by a scalar quantity and a vector quantity.